everyone. Happy Just the Tip Tuesday. This week we are looking at the pose Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Ardha Chandra Chapasana, say that 10 times fast, which is Half Moon Sugarcane or Sugar Bow pose. So this pose is actually based off of a tale about Lilita. Lilita is a goddess, and this goddess has a bow made out of sugarcane or a chapa, and she has a half moon in her hair, so the Ardha Chandra, and her arrows are flowers. So she represents the gamut of emotion. We are in Pisces season if you're into astrology, and so a lot of people are feeling super emotional. She represents that we can have arrows that are flowers, but those arrows can turn deadly when need to. So to give ourselves permission to have the full range of emotion is really what this pose represents. So for my beginners, we're gonna work first on the balance, and I'd say if half moon is challenging for you, let's just work on half moon. But if you wanna try to advance that, I'd start with a chair and a wall. So having the chair in the same direction as your standing leg, you'll start with your feet 4 to 5 feet apart. Make sure that your legs are nice and warm. I'm gonna bend my standing leg, bring my hand to the chair, start to lean my weight. If I need help, I can lean back into the wall. If you feel like you have enough balance, you can start to bend the knee and place the foot on the wall, and then push your hips towards the front of the room. Maybe taking your hand back as if to grab the foot to come out. Bring the hips back to the wall, step that foot down, and lift yourself up. For my intermediate yogis, you may feel the chair is easy for you, so you want to make it more challenging. The prerequisite would be that you can easily balance in half moon, but perhaps the back bend component or the quad stretch is more difficult for you. So always permission to use blocks to bring the floor closer to you. I'm going to use one today. Then as you come into half moon, thinking about bringing that front knee in forward first to give you more clearance to grab the foot or the ankle, and then sending the leg back. Maybe this is where we stay, or if we have more mobility in the quad, taking the heel away from the seat. Giving yourself permission to fail. I certainly just did, because that means you're human and not a robot. For my advanced yogis practicing our half moon sugar bow or sugarcane pose, a couple of considerations. One is to see if we can come into it from standing, so the transition to begin in the half standing bow, and then lean our weight into it. Focus, focus. Boop. Okay, that could be one consideration. Or if you're really feeling wild, not sure how successful I'm gonna be here, taking a cartwheel, landing your half moon, and then grabbing the foot. Whoa. All right, so just some things to change it up, play around. That's assuming you have an inversion practice and many other things. So give it a shot.
Happy Just the Tip Tuesday. Hello everyone, it's Shannon at Practice Indie. Thank you all for tuning in. This week we're focusing on Asteya. Asteya is a Yama. Yamas are the restraints or the beginning of the moral code of the yoga practice. And Asteya means non-stealing. So this can be easily understood as like, oh, I just don't steal people's stuff, like nailing it, I'm a yogi. And great job. And it's not just about things. We had an incredible Dharma talk with Caitlin Beisco on Sunday, and she illuminated us or enlightened us to that it's not just about things, it's about time, energy, and it's not always stealing from other people. Oftentimes it's stealing from ourselves. So coming into awareness of where we steal often deals with the ego. So if you're perpetually late to something, you either feel you deserve to take up more of someone's time, and or you feel a lack of whatever you're not able to get done to create the lateness, right? And so intermittent lateness is things happen, right? There are potholes, LOL, hello Indianapolis. you have little people or old people to take care of, or you yourself are just a lot to take care of, whatever. So looking at spaces where we are stealing from others, not just intermittently once every so often, but consistently, is where we're going to find the sweet spot of where we have opportunity to practice. So the lack or malpractice of Asteya comes from an ego dysfunction, and it's usually because we are operating out of a scarcity mindset, that we feel we don't have enough, and so we have to take from someone else, or we have to take from our own reserves. So my homework for you this week is to write yourself a letter, or if you're more of a list person, list it out, but to write yourself a letter of all the places you feel you are operating out of scarcity, or you feel you have a lack. So if you feel like you don't have enough time, you feel like you don't have enough energy, you feel like you don't have enough money, or whatever it is, write yourself a letter about all the things that you feel a lack of, and then read it back out loud to yourself. After reading it out loud to yourself, you may find that one, some of it sounds a little ridiculous, or two, there are things you can do to remedy that situation. Sometimes it looks like cutting back, doing less. Sometimes it looks like asking for what you need, but recognizing where you are stealing from others, from yourself, in order to replenish or fill that bank account. Other times we'll realize that we're not really scarce in that department. We just have lived in this story that we are. And so starting to change that story, if your story is always, I don't have enough time, then you realize after work, you have tons of time and you're just using it to like decompress or watch Netflix or whatever. Maybe you can utilize that time better. Or if you're perpetually late to things, perhaps it's because you don't like the things you're going to. And you need to consider, can I change those obligations? Or can I get up 10 minutes earlier? Or does that mean I need to go to bed 10 minutes earlier? So just starting to look at all the places that you're stealing and how you can move from a space of scarcity to abundance, because that's really where the feeling of stealing comes into play, where we feel we need to steal. So good luck, have fun, and happy Tuesday.